Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hope you had a great day this far, and hopefully it continues to be good. And if it has been good, I'm very sorry, and I hope it's gonna be better. Yeah, maybe some light coding and some funny bugs will help with. I certainly hope so. Yeah. So yesterday we did some great progress with integrating Bear, our AI companion, into well, it was more the other way around. We had the Vine object and we integrated it into Beard's behavior, so it reacts to it and launches it. Yeah, I'll probably just show you what we did yesterday. So, let's go. There we are. All right, let's see if Unity reads us with an instant crash. I always think when I say it, it doesn't happen. And so far, I'm a bit right. Alright, okay, so what we did was coding this like last week. We still have, some issues with it. Like we have these weird glitching through going on. I'm not sure yet why this is happening or how well it picks up on stream. And what we did yesterday was integrating, feel with the Vine. So that when it starts, when we hop on, like right now it's not interesting, right? Because the Vine is just standing there and Beale's main goal is to sabotage us. So only once we jump onto it, it will start interacting with it, we're going to it, and yeah, now it's gone. So that was what we did yesterday. Not sure if you saw like this wonderful bug on on Twitter. Sure. So we need to fix this. What happens here? Well, the thing is, our Vine starts growing like this, and it will continue growing until it reaches like the maximum size it can have, which is like this, or if it hits the ceiling before it reaches the maximum height, then obviously it will also stop. And if we are just, like this, then there is not an issue. But we have an issue when it's still growing and Bear starts eating it. Because now the Vine growth competes with the Vine shrinking. That's why this is, slower, and Bear also never stops eating it. Also, since Tuli can, hop onto the Vine and use it as an elevator, this happens. So, since the Vine is always growing, the elevator behavior of the Vine never stops. Hey Toadsy, hey Boris. Welcome. Beal Boogie. Yeah, so this is what we achieved yesterday. Obviously we need to fix this bug. So let's look at our taskboard. The things we have from yesterday are all here. Like basically the behavior is there. But we need to fix this bug as well. I think we will start with it because it will become like quite annoying. So how do we call this? I think we can just say, okay, once Bill starts eating the vine, it will just shrink and not be growing. So, you know, when Bill interferes, it's just happening. Yeah, other than this, we also need to make sure that Bill knows not only when Truly is climbing the vine, but walking on it. And then this here, which Verena brought up yesterday. We asked ourselves the question, can vines grow on other vines? Like right now they can grow on the ground, but can they grow on other vines? And I think this can be funny, like having these zigzag of vines. Not sure if it's useful, but we will just roll with it and see. And then we need to figure out when Bill starts eating it, how to make it that, you know, the vine on top grows, shrinks first and then go on to the next one. But make some puzzles. Yeah, I very much agree. At least that's the dream. Oh, it's a double. Yeah, so it's a question that we posed, and this is basically the solution we need to implement. And yeah, the particle effect, it's just, you know, minor detail, but while we're on it, why not put it in? Yeah, but first things first. We will start with this. The vine stopped growing because it's the most annoying thing that will prevent us from making progress. Right. Start it. And we need the vine script and as well as the BL munching script. So, how are you two doing? You have a great day till now? And also what I'm interested in is this for you like really co-working? Like, are you doing stuff yourself? Like, I know Boris is working on the bot. It does seem to work, except it ran into a weird error caused by the merge conflict from yesterday. It was an easy fix, though. Yes. Alright. It's working on other stuff, not the bot. Okay. Yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed regarding the BL bot, and that, you know, your recurring bug fixing will be over. And let's see how we will fix our BL. I mean, this is its plane, and we want the munch state. So let's go open that up. Oh, that's the molded, and that's BL. And then it's time for some new function if someone has some new ideas. Yeah. I mean, it's also funny that we're like on like across platforms as an annoyance to program. So maybe it manifested too well into this reality. Let's see. I write a text, like Tootsie says, I write a text for coping with some mind-blowing information that I found lately. The topic: what is your love language? Alright, okay. So you mean how you show affection? Working on mental health now. Yeah. Is it for your plant poetry on Instagram? Boris says Bill is a living embodiment of somehow not working the way you intended, but still does something else. Yeah, that's the pitch for Bill. Okay. Okay, so I think here, because this function is called, and we can check here if the vine is growing. So if it's growing, I think we just change the bool, right? I mean, that should be it. Like so. Let's see. None of us is stuck in a stage right now, or state, AI state. So this all looks surprisingly good. Huh. Right. Okay. So. Solutions don't have to be complicated, is the learning we can take from this. Alright. So let's see. We fix this, and easy. Oh, hey White Panther. Hello White Panther gang. Welcome again, so nice of you to raid here. And thank you for the following. Aristia, Dr. Dynamite, Mr. Luxon, and Lisa Da Rosa. That's a very melodical name. UK Matt LZ. And Sandwich. Thank you so much. Welcome. Welcome to us coding game development, not web development, for our game Duru. Oh boy, okay. Thank you also CLS KO and Hector Hertz. I think the notifications are not keeping up with you guys, so sorry, there will be some lag on this. Also, thank you to OP Scripter and Steffi128. Thank you and welcome everybody. I hope you had a great stream, made some great progress, and hope you had a great day this far. I will be showing you what we did yesterday and what we want to do today. Hello. I have to try and pronounce this. It's Bacon patty? It's morning, where you're from? Okay, well then good morning to you. I hope you had your morning coffee or tea already. If you don't know this, I haven't seen this, this is Duru, the game we're working on. It's a game about morals and depression. Nazi was so kind as to show you the little about text we have and also the Steam page if you're interested. There's a demo on it, it's free, you can download it and have a little look what it's all about. It's mainly about our Morris character Tilly, which is this little fella here, or gal. And Bill, which is, basically a depression monster. So this is the personification of the depression in the game, and it's an AI companion. And we are currently working on making him more annoying with different things that we put in the game. So for now, we have this little vine. Like one of the main mechanics is that Tuli can paint objects from her mind, so she's an artist. And Beale, the little depression creature, tries to make her life that much harder by doing stuff like this, by making her progress, well, by nullifying her progress. So yeah, and we had a problem with Mouse Vine growing, but we fixed this. So this is all going well until now. Also, thank you for following Finite Singularity. Thank you so much. It's just morning in Brazil. Oh. And CSLK is also from Brazil. So, yeah. I hope you guys are having a great morning. Thank you for following as well. Thank you so much, and thank you for the second rate now. Also, thank you to Outrun 33. Oh man, so much new people here. I hope I can give you some insight into coding C# and coding Unity and game development. If you have any questions about the game, about Unity or C# or depression, because that's what the game is all about, and raising awareness, raising empathy for those who suffer from it, just ask. It's not a stretch to imagine that I'm suffering from depression myself. Also, I'm doing a lot better since a couple of years, but it's not sure if it's ever gone away completely. So if you have questions about that as well, just ask. So these are what we're all about: game programming and development, cute more red characters, and depression. And yes. So we already got this one done and out of the way. Now we need to go on to the next one. So we want to notify Beale when Tuli walks on the vine. The functionality of the vine is that we can either climb on it, not a vine. There we go. We can climb on it, but we can also rotate the thing, like so. And we can walk on it. So for now, Beale isn't registering that we are walking on the vine. But if we do, it should also eat it, just like when we climb it, like so. Oh, there's a slight hiccup. No, don't know where this is coming from, but we will keep it down. I'm a TypeScript developer, so I think I can understand at least a little bit about C#. I'm not familiar with or maybe I'm just not familiar with that name. But C# is pretty much like, if you know about object-oriented programming, then C# isn't an issue for you. It's just learning, vocabulary of C#, and then mainly of Unity. Because Unity, the engine brings all the functionality that you need, like colliders and renderers and stuff like this, and you just have to check up a lot what all those elements do. I'm very confident if you know how to program any object-oriented language, then C# isn't an issue. And game programming maybe not as well. Also the bugs, like I'm coming from a computer science background, and bugs in game development are a lot funnier than in other languages, at least in my opinion. All right. So basically what we need to do is to add the vine to build's memory. So our AI has a memory that is pretty straightforward. We can add objects to it and delete them from it, and it has priority, but goes basically through this list and selects the most important object and decides what to do with it. So like if we now paint the vine gets added to the memory. The controller of our AI gets notified, and then it goes and matches it up. And we need to do this, like the notification part and adding it to the memory, whenever our main character steps onto the vine. Alright. Outrun33 says hi. Hey. I'm middle Unity dev myself, but haven't been coding for like half a year. Are you mostly specialized in programming? Yeah, I mean, I think I'm like more of an all-rounder. Like we are a 3-woman development team, so everybody has to know a bit of everything. Otherwise, with such a small team, it wouldn't really work. But I mainly program, and I also do like story, game concept, especially like story and narrative design. That's where my passion lies. Programming is also fun until it comes to the bug fixing. But I come mainly from, like, I studied computer science, and then I went on and studied game design. So there's like just from my background, there's a love and a pain for programming. Okay, so let's find Tuli's script, because she knows when she steps on the vine. Also, let me know, since you are Unity dev, what you're working on, or if you're working currently on something. So that's a movement controller. First statement? Yeah. All right. I did something on the Unity years ago. It still accepts JavaScript scripts. Oh, it doesn't do that anymore. I didn't even notice they left this out. Oh, okay, since 2017. Alright, okay, that's for quite a while. I didn't even notice, because I prefer C#. So, Tuli acts on a state machine, because I find this very easy to handle. So I know if Tuli is like in her default mode, where she's just running and jumping and stuff, I know how to handle input in contrast to like if she's climbing, because then the input needs to be treated differently. And I think with a state machine, it's a good way to differentiate between this. And we basically need to check in her default state if she steps on a vine. And I think also when she's carrying stuff, that's a different state as well. So the easiest way to find out where she's like on what ground she's running is to basically put a function in her controller. Like here are all those, like all the states are stored here, and you know, different variables for interaction. And here we can make function to check for the ground basically, and see if she's standing on a vine. And we should make it public. We can access it from the states and returning a bool value like so. And one way to do this is basically sending an array which scans for other colliders, and then we can see by the type of the collider or tag that is associated with it, if we're standing on a vine or if it's just simple ground. So we will do this. Create an object that's a raycast hit2d object where the result of the raycast is stored, and then we access the physics2d class, raycast, and have to define now where the raycast starts. And we can just say it starts on where are my raycast origins? And we can say bottom right. For this, it doesn't really matter. We just want to know if we are standing on a vine, so it doesn't matter if we do more on the left or more on the right. Then we need to define the direction. We can use a shorthand for this, which is just the vector 2 dot down, which is just a shorthand for a vector that equals 0, -1. And then we define a distance. This one will do for now. And yeah, all of this, if something is hit or not, will be stored inside this object. All right. Our translator here says, so true about bug fixing, was mostly avoided by doing a lot of code refactoring. I try. So you're way ahead of me. I try to do it regularly, but doesn't always happen. So you have some classes which are quite clean. Oddly enough, most of them I did code on stream. And then others, especially the older one, where a lot of stuff gets changed, like the 2D controller, which is like there from the start, or the movement controller, all the things that are necessary to keep the game running or have a game there, they take on the messier side. So if you see stuff like this, I'm really sorry. Right, so we need to check if we hit something, and we do this by simply seeing if there's a collider stored in the hit object, and check against none. And then we need to see if the object we hit is a vine object. We can do this by checking the tag of the collider. In Unity, every game object has a tag, so we can see what it is we're dealing with, what it is that we just hit. And we can use the compare tag function. The only advantage of using this is that, you know, it's a bit shorter and apparently it's more efficient, but you know, in a range that, at least to this game, doesn't matter that much. But yeah, painted vine. So, and if the thing that we hit has a collider and is a painted vine, we need to return true. Wait, Twitch bot has cheered with 100 bits. Is the Koi Twitch bot really a bot? and if so, very kind bot. Alright. So this function tells us if we're standing on a vine or not. Right, now we just need to use it. And do this once in this this state. This is the one where Tuli runs and jumps. State, and need to find a nice place to put it. So, talking about the cluttered code, I think half of this I could put in another function, but not today. Alright, so we need to say if context, it's basically the reference to the controller, where we just put the function in, is standing on the vine. If this is true, then we need to notify the memory of, and we need to give it a reference to the vine we currently step. It's a web monetization platform. One or more of your users subscribes, and so those bits. Okay. Thank you. I didn't know this. We're standing on the vine. We need to notify here, our AI companion. And we do this by accessing the controller of Deal, where its memory is stored, and then say add a painted object. And now it gets tricky because we need a reference to the vine we are currently stepping on. Okay. Finite Singularity says, I was used at first as well when I started getting running call bits. Alright, thank you for looking it up and passing your knowledge on to me. Right. Speaking of passing on knowledge, we need to pass on a reference of the vine. Let's have a think how we do this. I mean, we can just say, just make another rake cast, but it seems a bit, I mean, the thing is, it seems a bit, not efficient, inefficient, that's the word. Since we already got here the object we are looking for, but just return true or false. Because then we would look twice for the same object, right? You want to be more efficient than that. So what we want to do is probably return the game object. Game object is in Unity basically every object that is placed in a scene. Like is a game object as well, and the grounds are working on, and also the background. So everything that you can place in the game is a game object. And we want to return null if we didn't hit anything, and otherwise return a hit collider dot game object. And now we need to rewrite this a bit. How do we do this? Game object potential vine. equals this. Also, now the name isn't fitting anymore. Let's rename it. We get fine. Yeah, we just go with it. So now that we can restart the potential vine, and we check it against null, and then we can say if there's something there. So if we are standing like on the vine, if we got something back, then we can just say just pass on the potential vine and grab the component from it that we need. We say painted object. Alright. So if you're not too familiar with Unity, the way things work is that all the game objects are basically a container. So if I click on our player character for now, you can see it has like all the different components here. It has a script like for the controller, the animation, all stuff like this, a collider, which is, you know, another component. And for things to work, you need to place everything in a scene that you want to get executed. So yeah, and this is what we're basically doing here. Since we got the Vine game object, we get a script and pass it on to the memory of Bill. And I think from there on, it should work, but we will just test it and see. All right. So paint the vine a little bit. And we work on it. Oh yeah, okay. And it's fully eaten. Okay. I think the other stuff doesn't work because if we carry something, that probably won't get notified yet. No, because carrying is another state that we're acting in. Alright, let's change this. So these are all the states of and free object. Okay. Now we just need to paste map. Also, I think we can do this in the function that we wrote, right? Because it doesn't affect the state or how Tuli is acting. It affects our AI companion. So we can just handle everything right here, and then we have such a mess in all the other classes. So let's rename this. And what this will be doing now is doesn't even need to return anything. We just grab this, like the line which is used to add stuff to Beard's memory, and put it here. So now we can directly access the Beard controller and and say hit.slider.gameObject and then get the painted object from there. And all we need to do now is clean up this mess here. And not do anything in the other states. But we can do it here. So yeah, we also check here for stuff. So we can check here for wine to add to its memory. And this way, it doesn't matter in which state Thule is. And we have cleaner code. See, this is what I meant when I'm doing this on stream. I'm way more careful not to mess things up. Alright, so this should be still working. Yeah. And now if not only... Oh. Now it's not just the vine. And we are carrying something. Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay, so that step is done. Also, I think there are some... Well, let's stop before we get too excited. Because when we have it like this, okay, this already counts as we're walking on it. Also, if we're jumping through it, also counts. So, how do we get around this? Probably by checking in which direction our main character is moving, because if it's moving upwards, then we don't need to check if we are currently on the vine, right? Alright, so let's do this at the very start here. If our velocity y is greater than 0 and we're not grounded, which we can check. Oh no, it's the collisions. Alright, so if there are no collisions below and our velocity is bigger than y, we can assume that we are not, currently walking on the line, and we can just return right here and don't need to do all that other stuff. This way we will, hopefully, prevent Beer from munching the vine when it's, when we're just jumping through. Alright, so to the left. And we're jumping through and it's not reacting. But does still react once we're on it, which is very important. Alright, for now, fine. I mean, not sure if you noticed the end of the vine isn't isn't moving with the vine itself, which looks very funny now that it's getting eaten and comes down again. We'll fix this. I think I wanted to do this first time. Wouldn't be that issue. So I think the only thing we need to do is make the top of the vine a child object of the vine itself. But we see where it is the vine ending. That's what we do. And we create it, and it is like this instantiate. This is a way that we create a new object in the C. And then we just need to say the vine ending transform, which is in Unity the object where all the positions and the scale and the rotation are stored. Everything that basically informs the engine where and how this game object exists in a scene. And we need to set its parent to this dot transform. Like this. Alright. Now this should help with rotating the top alongside the vine. If it doesn't, I truly will fix it once. Alright, I mean it's somewhat rotated. And it's... Right, how to do this? Oh, we don't need to set the local scale anymore. I think that this is why it was like so weird. So weirdly transformed. Let's see. I mean, now it looks like a weird tree. Not what we wanted, but does it rotate? But it rotates. Alright, so how... I mean, probably need to set the scale before we add the pin. Let's see. Because the child objects like adopt the scale of a parent. Also the rotation, I think. Oh, let's see what... Nope. Okay. Alright, okay. So what is your scale actually? 0.4. And yours is 0.4. If this is 0.4. Like so. And we as a child on the vine object. and it gets this very weird scale. Or maybe because the scale of the object it's not like all the same number, so it looks straight. Let's try this. We just set it by hand and use the variables that are interesting to us. Scale. And we just use bits of it, stored in the X variable, and just use it for every part of the scaling. Right, let's see if it helps. And Unity says no. Let's start it back up. Sorry, not sure why this is happening. Welcome, Draken. Thank you so much for following. You came just, or you followed just in time for a Unity crash. Oh, sorry. Let's hope it doesn't take much time. Before this setup that I currently have, I had an older, not so high performance PC, and I pretty much could start up Unity, go make some tea, drink that tea, and then come back. And sometimes it still wouldn't have fired up. But one of my colleagues was so kind as to give me a new PC that they still had standing around for a good price. And I really want to say it doesn't take that long anymore, but currently I've been proven wrong. Oh, no, okay. You just have to complain long enough for things to happen. Take from working with Unity. Alright, but let's check if all the stuff is still working. Okay, it's somewhat working. But it still looks like this. Even why? I mean, what happens if it's just like 1, 1, 1? I mean, okay, you know what? For now, I set it hard-coded by hand, which is really not what I want, but I will sing it later. And I mean it, I will really fix it later, because it otherwise might end up having some issues. But for now, I don't wanna sit here pondering about code and scales. So yeah, what we want to do is I will be doing we notify Bear now when fully walks on the line, so we done. Particle effect we don't want to worry too much about, and what I really want to do now is see if we can grow vines on other vines on other vines. Alright, and for this I will be deactivating heal because it's just getting in the way. Alright, let's see what the current state is of this feature. If it's already possible, which I'm really not so sure about. This is our vine. Grow it. And now we are stuck. Oh. And you keep running, but you make no progress. And it's game development. Oh no, yeah. But I think this one is on me. Because all of this we only need to do if DL is actually in play. And if it's not, then of course we get an exception when we try to add things to its memory, so that's on me. Other bugs, of course, never, but this one is on me. So we can check if is it the scene settings? Sorry, I have to look it up. It's the in-game scene settings. So in the in-game scene settings, it's stored whether or not Beal is in-game. So is Beal active? And if Beal is not active, that's what exclamation mark is for, and we need to return. But this looks wrong, so like this is true or this is true. Yeah, better. Alright, but that should be it. Okay, make a vine. Let's rotate it. Okay, we can work on it again. Can we paint another vine? Okay, we somewhat can, but it's not growing on this vine, but on the ground. Okay, so how do we fix this? And where is the more important question? Let's see, where is 2D paintings? It's like a default. So okay, so if we press the button to paint something, this part of the code will run. We check if we are able to paint, we have enough resources for it, and oh, right. It's not in that, because in Unity you have like a nice little thing with animations where you can integrate functions into certain points of the animations. So when Thule is painting, we don't want, at the first frame of the animation for the object to appear. we want to let her make his little animation, and only after that the object will appear. So I have a different class with all the animations, all the functions that get called by the animation. Animation events. All right. And here's the paint event. So here the spawn position is set. Spawn object. Alright, so here it is. Okay, so what happens here is we handle all the different objects we can paint differently because they have different sizes and need different positions. And here's the vine. Okay. And now we went full circle because inside the vine is a script that decides on its position. And here we make a raycast basically where it should start. And use the ground layers for. And should just be able to add. And it should recognize another vine as a ground. Yeah, like you have all these different layers which are meant to be like physical layers. So every collider can be on a different layer and you can check for multiple or just one. And with a layer mask, you can basically just check them here. And we find the climbable vine layer. And save all of it. And then hopefully everything works. If it does, we had a lot of easy fixes today. Which is quite rare, to be honest. Not so well. Stuck. Oops. Okay. So, and I like to make another vine, which works. Right. Okay, so there's an issue going on with selecting which vine to use for rotations. But other than that, it seems to be working. Okay. Right. So what we now need to do, considering that, you know, this little creature will be able to munch all the vines, we need to make sure that if there's a vine attached to another vine, the original vine needs to know that there's something attached, right? And if there's something attached, this little creature needs to eat that vine first. Sorry. I have a quick think about it and drink some. So, I mean, this creature shouldn't be able to walk on the vine. So here we need to check if we position our vine on another vine. And that vine needs to know about it. We just try something, and if it doesn't work, we just throw the whole thing out and try it again a different way. Alright, what's this very? It's starting getting a bit messy up here. Alright, so we want a list with vines that are attached vines. And since the vine that it's growing on the other vine needs to notify it, we want to make it quick. Okay, so here when we figure out where to put this vine, we need to check if the thing that we hit is a vine. We do this again by comparing the tags. So we say painted vine. And if this is true, then we want to this the vine script of the thing that we hit, which we know from is a vine. And say add attached vines, which is a list, add this, because this is a vine that is growing, and it notifies the other vine. Alright. Okay. So I'm wondering now if so we have a I need to figure this out before I code stupid stuff. It's a bit mind-boggling, so I need to visualize it. So this is our this is the first vine. And then we grow a second vine on. Thus, the second vine needs to know that it's attached to this vine. Because right now I'm thinking, we are like, we created this, and then from somewhere we jump onto this vine, and then it appears. And since we are on this vine, it wants to eat this vine, but it can't reach it. So this vine needs to notify its parent, so that bear starts munching here to munch this. I hope very much that this is made. I mean, since we have like resources in the game, like the maximum of vines that we can grow is probably 3, maybe 2. We need to test that and see what makes more sense. But still, if we can pick 3, this vine needs to know its parent. Okay, so right. So we have attached vines, And we can assume that one vine can have up to 2 vines attached to it. And one vine can only have one parent, right? So yeah, we need this. Okay. Okay. Also, we need to initialize the list, otherwise we get null reference exceptions. Alright, that's it. Okay, so now getting back to this. If we hit a vine, then we add ourselves to that vine, and we also need to set our parent vine. To this. The component gets a vine, set it to the parent. Because just parent might be confusing. At least to me. Parent vine equals this. Okay, so that is done. So now we basically have a chain of this. And I mean, this should be right, because everything else happens when Bill starts. So we need to do stuff here. So we need to figure out when Bill starts munching a vine, if we have another vine attached to us, and if so, that one has to go first. But what if that vine has attached to it another vine? I mean, okay, so if we just say if we have attached vines, so if the count of our list with the attached vines is bigger than 0, then we just say attached vines dot vines 0 dot munch vine, right? And then we return. So as long as there are vines attached to other vines and they use all those functions to get reduced, then this should work for as long as there are more vines. And if not, they get deleted, which we need to make sure where this happens. Okay, because when a vine is destroyed, its it needs to notify its parent. Oh wait, okay, so we say parent vine, attached vines, remove this. But only if a parent vine is existent. So if parent vine doesn't equal null, then this is what we want. And if we don't have a parent, then we don't need to notify anybody, right? I mean, in my head it makes sense. Okay, so now we have just one problem left. And that is... Oh, it's still there. Okay, I didn't stop. Oh. Animation issue? Yeah, no, she's fully stuck because I just left her alone for long. Right, so if tool is on this vine, then the vine we want to add to memory is this one. So do this. I mean, it should be doable the same way we handle the munching, right? We check if we have a parent for as long as we have a parent and returns it. So okay. Alright, so we need to return a vine. And we call this get original vine. Which is the vine that it's like. So we say if our parent vine doesn't equal null, then we return get then we return parent vine dot get original, and otherwise we return this. So this is like how do you call this sort of function? I know the name. But right now, recursive. It's sort of a recursive function, and they are always a bit dangerous. But this should be fine, right? I mean, there's not too much to do, and we just return stuff from the parent vine, right? Right? Okay. So now that we have this function, all that is left is to integrate it into the point where we are notifying the memory of deal to add the vine. And this happens on two occasions. One is when we step on it. So this is what is happening here. So we want to get the original vine. And we get it by saying hit.collider dot game object get component, then the vine script, and And then we say get original vine. And you know, in a normal case where it's just the vine, we will always get, you know, the vine attached to this collider. And when we have this, we want to say original vine.game object get component object, because that's the script, that's the beer memory. All right. And the other occasion is if we start climbing somewhere. Which is happening in the climbing stage. Here. Okay, and again here we can say context current vine dot get component vine, then say dot get original vine game object. Exactly. Right, I guess. And then we need to make sure when we jump off and it hasn't started eating yet, that we remove the right object. Remove page object. And this. Oh, I still haven't. Oh, probably why 2 is making such. All right. Let's get BL back into this. And let's just see. Also now I'm not sure how to really test it. Because as soon as I step on that, they will start munching. Need to distract. So, are we? No. So, go grab food. It works. Yes. Oh. Or not. I mean, it somewhat worked. This is not what. Okay, how do we? Let's just do it again and see what happens. I'm not sure what's the issue there. So how to avoid it. It was faster eating than I was grabbing. Please go away the root. Okay, busy. Now we can do this. Or not? What's the issue? Oh, okay, so there's some vision bug. Okay, but down it works just fine. Alright, so it starts eating here. And this root, well, this vine isn't properly deleted. We get an error message. So, oh, that's just add mod. But other than that, we don't get an error. So that's the best. Okay, so let's figure this out. Why isn't that fine? It is here, right? Try vine. So if our vine has a parent, this vine. And we remove it from the attached vine of the parent vine and destroy this. But it's not happening this way. And it's not giving us an error. It's annoying, because if we have errors and we know what we're doing wrong, if it's just, you know, radio silence down here, then yeah, we're on our own. Okay, clear the console. And let's see again what's happening. Send you away. We can work on this. Oh, you will never get that, will you? Oh, maybe you will get it. Now that it's rolling off. Okay, so we can do our thing right here. Oh no! No. Please, go away. Okay, here we go. So let's pause for a second so we can look what's going on here. So, this is the original vine. And here it it's not a parent, but it has the other vine in its attached vines. And this vine has no attached vines, but has a parent. And this is the way it should be. So, what happens when beer starts eating it? Reduced? Oh, this time we got an error. That's good. Okay. Let's see where stuff happens. Oh, okay. It happens here because here the current object Bale wants to eat is gone. Wait, it different. No, it's not different because it's... okay, I confused. Let's see. We have our current targets that we want to march away. And... okay, so... okay, let's see. No, I don't get it. Why? Oh, okay. Okay, we need to... okay, so I sort of know what's happening. So if we have like one vine and the other one is attached to, then the object that is added to Beard's memory is the one that is attached to it. But Beard still has to... no, it's a parent. No, I don't get it. Sorry, that's a weird bug. Where are we adding things to Beard's memory? This is its brain. AI memory, right? Oh, but we decide on another place. What? All right. Thank you both for being here, and have a great evening. See you next time. Until next time we figure this out. Let's see. We have edit object, and we get the original vine and add it to the memory. And this is why Beard munches away at it. But the object shouldn't get deleted from Beard's memory, right? Because it's not gone, since it's the original vine. Don't get why it's like why it's doing that. Let's play again and see if we can figure out what exactly is going wrong. That's right. I'm really not sure where this bug is coming from. Right. I just put it over. Let's go on a timer. Okay, so this is working as well. And now the problem starts. This time we don't have an error message. Okay, let's see. Let's start the debug logs because we need to get an idea of what is going wrong. So let's think about it. it might be going wrong in the munching vine state. Because we munch, like the munch vine gets basically delegated to the next attached vine until there are no attached vines left. So the music has music. This. Right. Okay. So what happens? If this vine is still growing, then it stops. Otherwise, the height of the vine gets reduced. And we notify the vine that there's still somebody munching on it. Right. And when this vine is destroyed, remove it from its. And then this should lead to the next vine getting munched. Oh. So where's the issue? Let's have a look at AI state. Here we just is this reach? Munched all. But if it is, then the AI changes the state, which doesn't happen. It's stuck in the munching state. This is quite boggled. And I'm wondering if it's something very simple that I just don't see. I'm staring too much at the code. Alright, okay, let's have a think about it. We are munching on this vine. And as long as this vine is munchable, we do that. And once it's not, then we will change the state. But since this is still happening, oh, I had just had a thought. I think the trouble is that the vine doesn't get destroyed. Because, you know, originally the vine would get destroyed on the side of Beel, because he needs to know when he has eaten all of it. But that doesn't happen since it's attached to another vine. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. I think we're getting to, you know, to the root of the problem. All right, so that means if okay, so we figured out what the problem is. Now we just need to know where exactly to solve it. We can do it like this. So if our attached vines 0, is munchable, then we will, you know, do this. Like I'm pointing on it, even though I know you can't see it. But we will munch the vine. Otherwise, if this vine is very much not munchable, then we need to destroy it, right? Because there's nothing left to eat. Then we need to say attached vines 0 destroy vine, right? And then it should be gone, and then Bale should have something to munch on the next vine. I very much hope that this is right. Yeah, I don't know why, you know, animations and things are twitching every time that Unity loads, but yeah. I'm very scared and I'm very excited at the same time. Right, let's sync. Would you please not? I'm working here. I think I accidentally... Okay, go away. I need to create another vine. It's here. Okay, it started eating the vine and it's eating the next one as well. And it's not getting stuck. So it's success, I hope. Let's try it again just to be sure. Alright, the vine and get rid of you. Create a second vine. Just jump onto it. Okay. I mean, like it's a partial success. So are we like fully stuck? Yeah, okay, so it's fully stuck and broken. And we're getting like error messages like crazy because Tuli is holding on to a vine that's not there anymore. Okay, but that's fine because I can work with this. The other thing was more annoying. All right. So we can grow vines on vines on vines. Alright, and now we just have one left for this week. And I think this will be a quick one, so I think we can do it in like 15 minutes. Right, so what do we want to do? It's pretty much when you see Bale eating. Like eating a fruit. Oh no, we don't. Okay. So what I wanted to show, what was there at some point, is that they're like little particles, you know, flying everywhere because he's a messy eater. But apparently it doesn't happen anymore. Let's... Get one. Okay, so what we want to do is find out if we still have the particle effect. Let's see. We have this as a part of the particle. Is this one? No. That's very much not the particle system we are looking for. Alright. That's the one we're looking for. So this is what it looks like when Beal is munching away. And what we need to do now is just instantiate it whenever Beal starts eating and destroy it once it is done. So what we want to do is go inside Beal's brain. Because here we can store the particle systems that we want to create in the world. So let's make it. So, and it's game object. And it's the munching effect. Okay, and then when we start munching, so Beal is also a state machine AI, and when it enters for the first time the munching state, we want to instantiate the particle system. So here we will be saying, oh, and we need to store it. So, because otherwise we couldn't destroy it. So these are the munching particles. And here we need to say munching particles equals instantiate. And then we use the variable we just created. So we say context dot munching effect. Okay, and then we need to position it, which is probably at the object that is currently munching, right? So we say munching particles dot transform dot position equals the context dot current target object dot transform dot position. Alright, and then when we leave the state, it's down here. Yeah, basically whenever the next state is not the state we are currently in, then we need to say destroy munching particles. Okay. That's a nice easy one. At least I hope so. It's one last time. Oh. So what we want to see is basically a particle system popping up here. does it work with the vegetable, with the root? Oh, okay. We're getting null reference exceptions. Because we haven't... we need to fill the variable of the munching effect. I forgot about this now. And for the best. Right. Yeah, there it is. I will turn off the gizmos. We can have a better look. Okay, this sometimes Bale's positioning is a bit off. Sometimes it works. Alright, okay. This is already fine. And we will have a look at this. So, got the particle effect back into the game. Not sure why it, like at which point we just lost it. But that's sometimes how it is if you rewrite stuff and you know, the particle effect is to forget about quite easily. But we managed to do everything that we need to do to integrate the vines and integrate the vines with Bale's AI. And next week, I'm not quite sure with what we shall continue, because I didn't expect for things to go so smoothly, to be honest. Because working with Bale is always very complicated, because there are so many things you have to consider for the AI to work well. Like AI work is one of the most complicated things to do when you work when you're developing games. So yeah, I was a bit pessimistic, but now I'm you know, quite surprised in a good way. So what I will be doing off stream is, you know, we had some collider issues and there are no resources yet taken for the vines. You know, in Duru you have limited resources, like you have this little paint buckets. And since we are on the game design part of things, not sure yet how much this will cost, or if it's like dependent on the size of the vine, stuff like this. Don't know. I don't, you know, I set it off till later. And I need to fix these vine ends. It's sometimes rotating with the vine and sometimes not. So I think next week we will have a look at some smaller things to do. Like we have a colony of the mole rats where we want to have like a quick, nice, fast travel system. So that's a smaller one. And also what I think I will be doing next week is create the testing level for our patrons and our Kickstarter supporters to access and to give their thoughts on the new object and to test it and to give us feedback, basically. So I think I will build this level for some part on stream, because we haven't had level design yet and seen work in Unity, so this might be fun. And yeah, and it's not as concentrating as a work, so we can have a nice little chat going on. Maybe Verena will join me as well. Yeah, so be nice. And yeah, but for today, we'll call it a day. It's, at least here, it's time for Feierabend. Maybe, you know, if you're in like Brazil, your day just has started. Either way, I wish you a nice morning, day, evening, whichever applies to you. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, for stopping by and keeping me company with the coding. I hope you found some stuff interesting and got a good look into game design and especially game development with Unity. And I hope I see you next time. Goodbye.